Okay, sorry I'm back. I want to talk about forgiveness for a second. And, oh, saw a bird under the trailer. By the way, I was originally using this as a blind. It's actually an old chicken coop. And we'll go back to talking about forgiveness in a second, but the old chicken coop, I am going to drag it all the way down to the end of the railroad right-of-way. And, anyway, forgiveness. You know, it's Christmas, so I'm going to wax poetic again about this. This is kind of stuff that I think about when I go for runs and when I'm by myself out in the woods. You have a lot of time to think about things like forgiveness, what it means, why you do it, and so forth, so on. I'm going to say something about the guy that tried to kill me. I haven't really talked about this much on these videos, but I'm going to just full circle, just kind of take this one on head on. So if you're squeamish, don't listen. Tune off. And if you're not, you can have at it. This is a man that came after me with a machete and a hunting knife. And his whole deal was that I, as a black man, was, I was too, how do I say it nicely? He felt as though I was basically a common nigger. He needed to put me down in my place. And here he was, a guy that was hard, white guy, really nice man, I think, in terms of he wanted to be. Had a great son, a great kid, an ex-wife that was a pretty nice lady. He saw the world for some reason as being against him. He basically was a vagabond. He went from place to place. I kind of consider him a sociopath. But, people don't start out being sociopaths. At one point, they're decent people. At some point, my neighbor, the lady, married him, and they had a son together. And they had a life for quite a time together. And she's not a bad person. Her judgment, who knows? But she saw something good in him. So I have to take the fact that he was a decent person at one time. Well, he turns around and decides at some point he's mad at the world and he is going to take his anger out on his neighbor that he watches every day and had for 4 years the opportunity to watch me come and go, observe my life, so forth, so on. So he decides to come after me. To this day, I have never spoken to him about the incident. Obviously, he was defiant, and even to the time when I left the city, he would do things like come to the back fence that we shared, where his significant other, lady he had taken up with, used to live, and he would throw up the single finger salute at me. He would do silly little things like, one on the Halloween, before I left, he put little crosses inside little cups, and lit them on fire and put them on every post. The thing that the the KKK used to do, lighting a cross on your fence. In his case, here comes some cars, and I'm just going to wait and let them pass. Yeah, I'm going to turn my back to them so they don't splash me. Anyway, he, that kind of sick stuff, you start to realize this is a man that, A, has no remorse. And I say he used to do that because even after the attempted murder, because it was his first offense, I guess in 23 years, so they didn't count the old stuff, they let him out basically inside of the 2 to 5 years he was supposed to serve. I didn't follow up on it. I tend to be the kind of person that I don't look back. But what I had to find inside me when I came out here was I had to find the depth of my own soul and see if I could find forgiveness and find a kind of kindness for him. See him in a sympathetic way. Not sympathetic as in I feel sorry for him, but sympathetic as to try to understand the conditions that created such a monster. and to realize that, you know, many people have said to me, why the heck do you move out as a black man into an area that is, you know, 99.9% white? Well, first of all, there's a whole lot of land out here. And it was a good price. Those are the two practical reasons. Secondly, let me say something to you, people of the world. If I, as a black man, have been violently attacked next to, you know, the end of my life, you know, survived it, the best thing I could do for humanity is to be accessible to the little young white kid that might think that, oh, all black people are assholes. I'll tell you a little story. When I came out here, there's a little general store in the area that is run by a really nice lady and her husband. They have 3 sons. Their oldest son, 16 years old. I kind of befriended all of them, and the 16-year-old one day came out to my cabin, saw what I was doing, and he said to me, you know what? You're pretty cool. And I kind of looked at him and said, well, thanks. Why do you say that? He says, you know, up until I met you, I thought all black people were assholes. And I said to him, well, why would you think that? And he said, you know, you see them on TV, you know, playing basketball, acting like jerks. You hear them in rap videos, talking about god-awful things. And I had never met a black person before you. And in addition to that, he just assumed all black people were like the stereotypes that he saw